So now we're going to talk about sampling and how we use sampling implemented in different songs in different ways. A lot of the time we don't sample old school like soul tracks a lot of the time like in that old school traditional way, but we might try and use a vocal from like an old soul track more so, and then like pitch it up and try and make it sound a bit cooler like that. So in this one track we got here, we started, LiTek played in some chords just on the, I think it was, this is the contact piano, the Una chord I felt. This is a nice one, like a proper soft one. So we started with that, we knew we wanted a bit of a soulful kind of gospel-y vibe with those chords. And then we use a website called Vocler, spelled V-O-C-L-R. Search that on Google, and then you go on there and you can select the key for the acapella. It's just a full library of acapellas. You can select the key and the tempo, and we've done that. And then we found this one. And then the way we incorporated it into the actual sample, if I just solo just the vocal and the chords. I did another little lead with the chords. So we just took the vocal, put it on top of the chords, and then on the first little phrase is just dry. And then there's a constant bit running throughout it, which I've just put a flipping side chain with the one knob pumper and a bit of reverb from the Valhalla vintage, and then just take off all the highs and the lows, and then that's how you get that sound. So that's just floating in the back. So that's how we'll use acapellas a lot of the time. And then use, you know, there's various little bits over here. This is just one little piece that's just like, that's just pitched up on its own. So, you know, you just take little bits and put them wherever is necessary in the track. And then on this one, we actually recorded ourselves doing the drums, like just a groove through the voice note. So you can hear like the chair in the background and stuff, you know, so that's us just sampling ourselves, just clapping and that. And together it gives it a little feel. And then we also sample ourselves doing this through the voice note, the little. So that's just a click and literally me and LiTek going, whoa, and just shouting in the background. And that just adds a nice texture. And then literally just piece the sample just throughout different points of the track. So to implement the sample in sort of different areas of the song, just in little bits. Because that's what we'll do, we'll take it, we'll have the main beat, and then we'll maybe take that vocal sample and put it in little pockets throughout the song. So obviously we're gonna have a singer on this at some point, or a rapper, so they're gonna want space to come in. So when the keys actually come in, we'll take out the sample, like the intro was that bit, what I was playing. So the sample comes out there when they're about to sing, and then we might give them a little piece of it, so at the end of the 8-bar, it just goes. But then there's just plenty of space there for the singer to do their thing, or the rapper. So yeah, and it's a nice thing we like to put it in the intro, catch your attention with that sample, with that pitched up vocal sample, and then just splice it about throughout the track at different various stages. So that's one good way of using sampling when you're trying to use it in a sort of contemporary way, rather than just taking a whole song and just putting a drum beat over it. You might want to just take little pieces and splice it in. And then obviously that's using a big song, but you can also just go and splice. And then we do it a lot, just select it by the key. If you know what key your song's in, by figuring that out, you just go on, I'll just go on instruments, vocals, then I'll just put whichever key it's in, and then just audition different vocal chops and put them in. So that's another, or any sound guitar, maybe whatever it is. So yeah, that's kind of a different way of implementing samples into like contemporary tracks, rather than the old school taking just a whole 8-bar loop and putting a drum break over it. You can just take a vocal chop, splice it in different areas. We use Vocala for them acapellas, but you can also just take samples from Splice, any of these things, and just cut up a little bit, search it by key, and just take out little pieces and put them throughout your track, and it'll give it that little lift, that other element to the song that it usually will need.